Okay, let's have a look at how to do muscle endurance test number one, which is our max push-ups. And this test, we should know this, but just going to go over it anyway. It assesses the client's upper body endurance, the chest, the pecs, the deltoids, and the triceps. It's also a core stability test and overall muscle endurance as a functional bodyweight exercise. So how do we perform it? So with a beginner, you don't. It's very simple. If someone has never done push-ups before, it is highly unlikely that this is going to be a good test for them, simply because they can't do it. Now, can you test variants of it? Absolutely. You can do wall push-ups or knee push-ups or elevated push-ups, anything like that as a test and use that. So all tests are good. You can make up your own test as long as they're repeated and you see improvements in the result, then it's a winning test. Now, for an intermediate client, this test is actually useful when someone can do 10 to 15 push-ups. If they can do one push-up, it's a maximal strength test, so we're not going to worry about that. And then you can adjust it every 6 to 8 weeks and reassess to see if someone's going moving forward. If someone's gaining a lot of weight, this one won't change as much as a chin-up test, but it's just something to consider. Okay, so warm up properly, stand push-up position, normal, proper core alignment, everything in the right place. Okay, once they start position, you want to have a standard for performing the push-ups. Okay, so a lot of people may not put their chest on the ground due to the position of the head, weakness of the neck, superficial neck flexors. Simply put like a tennis ball or a target there that they can touch their chest to and come back up, and that will count as a rep every single time. Standardize for performance of this, and basically you keep doing this until they can no longer either maintain form or complete full range of motion. So that can look like their hips collapse, it can look like they can't push all the way up, whatever it is, that's what it is. And then when test finishes, when they can't do that, easy, done. Record the number of push-ups before they fail. Ideally, the more push-ups, the better. Endurance focus is going to be higher reps. So the common faults that you'll see, and this will apply to your coaching of said push-up, is sagging hips. This is when the clients allow their hips to drop during the push-up, which is going to, I wouldn't say low back strain, but it's certainly going to indicate a lack of core control. They can have shallow push-ups, not range of motion. So again, that's why we need to use a tennis ball or something to standardize the form, and collapsing of the elbows and flaring out. Now with that, you can bring them back in, but generally means that their pecs are cooked. Okay, so basically these are what we have to do depending on the goal of the client. Okay, so they get a few reps. I think most men should be able to get around 10 to 15 push-ups. Most females should be pretty similar as well. Okay, there will be some things that change that in terms of their torso alignment and their torso angle, which I'm going to talk about in the second level of this course. But for most people, anywhere between 8 and 15 push-ups is very, very achievable. Now, don't do a test if the client is new. That's the most important one. If they have shoulder issues or wrist pain, let's just avoid it. There's no need to it. Okay. And then we can use other tests as well. So we can do a dumbbell reps test. We can do a lat pull down test. We can do a plank or a dead bud test. There's lots of things that we can do on top of that. So progression model. Beginners can go wall push-ups or incline push-ups. I'm personally a fan of incline push-ups on a Smith machine lowered down over time. So they end up getting to the point where they're just basically off the ground and then they're there. I find they're a lot better because they get a lot higher degree of core integration compared to a kneeling push-up, where the lever on a kneeling push-up is nowhere near as long for the core, and then that becomes a limiting factor. For an intermediate, once someone's got 15, 20, elevated push-ups are fine. If someone's at the 20 plus, then you can do other variants. Now you can progress in either load or complexity, and that's where you can start getting some gymnastics work. But for most clients, if their goal is hypertrophy, push-ups aren't going to be the best option unless they're used in a superset with some other stuff. So guys, that is the push-up endurance test.